Welcome to Busy Brain Club, where thinking is free and we should do more of it. In this video, we're going to discuss the juggernaut, Elon Musk, and his acquisition of Twitter, which has made him the most uncancelable man in the world. Elon Musk has made it very clear that his intentions in acquiring Twitter was to protect freedom of speech. Because as you know it, with most social media platforms, they have been actively suppressing and promoting different forms of information. It has gotten so bad that people are unsure what they can post without getting flagged or suspended. And so people have been self-censoring themselves, trying not to discuss touchy topics, which is unfortunate. Our typical way of acquiring information is not any better. Most people still trust our current news organizations. They call themselves the mainstream media. The trust was inherited from our parents watching the news. Back then, the competition for providing news wasn't this intense, and so the news organizations never needed to resort to the most salacious stories to keep your attention. That was always reserved for tabloid magazines at the supermarket. You remember those, right? The ones where aliens would abduct celebrities and some crazy conspiracy theory. But because of human psychology, we tend to pay attention to negative news stories versus positive ones. Example, if I had two videos, one of cute puppies and one of a plane crash, and you are given the option to watch both of them, which one would you watch first? It doesn't matter which one you choose. Statistically speaking, most people will choose to watch the plane crash first. So we are at the mercy of our own psychology. And so if news organizations want our attention, they just put the most salacious stories at the top. And in a capitalist world, if the news organizations competing for the same eyeballs, and this is a good way of getting the eyeballs to stay relevant, what do you think is going to happen? People think it's some big conspiracy. It's not. It's just human psychology in a world of capitalism. And so news organizations become tabloids, and tabloids, because of relevance, they become news organizations. There are some people who do not trust the mainstream media for their news sources. You know, the CNNs, NBCs, Fox News. They turn to social media for their news, hoping they'll get a more balanced approach or a more unfiltered version of current events or a situation. The truth is, even social media has already been co-opted and promote the values of certain interest groups through deceptive or outright lies. They are very aware of the psychological manipulation that can happen with an effective message and marketing dollars. Just as advertisement is used to psychologically brainwash you into thinking a particular product is better than the other. They've utilized this to get you to think a certain way. Don't believe me? Let me give you an example. I am from Jamaica. Growing up, we had a bunch of different beverages to choose from. Two particular beverages competing for our attention, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. In Jamaica, Pepsi is dominant. The dominant beverage of choice in all the fast food restaurants. Coke exists, but only as a secondary choice. When I go to one of those fast food restaurants, I don't think about what I want to drink. My default beverage is a Pepsi. And its marketing dollars, advertisement, has made it so I choose Pepsi. Am I obsessed with the flavor of Pepsi? Is it like to die for? No, it's just the default beverage you choose when you cannot make up your mind. And this is in Jamaica, right? That is the nature of the brainwash. Now, when I moved to the United States, where Coke is more dominant, my default beverage has now become Coke. Yes, it is different than Pepsi, but it's not that far off. I acquired the taste of Coke, and now if I should go to a restaurant, my default soda pop beverage is a Coke. I never ask for Pepsi. A lot of people know and are aware of the manipulation and the psychological warfare of ideas. It is at that point where people are untrustworthy of information, apparently, because there's too much information and no vigorous debate to cull the bad stuff exists. You see, it's not necessary for everyone to be a part of the debate. We just need to observe it. But if you cancel everyone or you censor one side versus the other, we cannot have the debate. I have established opinions about different topics in life without having to engage in it specifically. I just watch all the debates surrounding the topics, formulate my opinion from the conversation. An example of a debate that never happened during the pandemic: if you use the C word in any post, you'll be flagged and demonetized. So people went to elaborate lengths to not say the word. I've heard them describe the thing as human malware, so that is self-censorship at its best. It's similar to an experience Elon Musk had when he was discussing the pandemic. I remember an interview he did with a lady, and she was pressing him about his comments. And this is after everybody was throwing Elon under the bus about his tweets. He was visibly uncomfortable because he was ridiculed and criticized for his opinions, which I assume was informed by data he was looking at, which, to be honest, wasn't fully expressed. So I don't know the details of it. Now, granted, I'm not going to go to Elon Musk asking him about health advice. But remember, he's still an engineer. And engineers crunch numbers. They don't get a pass for fudging numbers. In an engineer's life, you fudge the numbers and someone dies. So it would have been nice to hear his opinion on the data, have a rigorous debate about the virus. But this is the problem with our current social media platforms. It is too filtered and censored. I may have disagreed with Elon, but I won't know because he has never expressed his viewpoint since in any complete way, and any discussion surrounding the matter never happened. Imagine a world where we actually had that discussion. It may have led to new ideas, new thinking surrounding the matter. So Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter should allow for better discourse amongst everyone on the planet for $8. Now, I'm on the fence about this $8, but I understand it's an effective way to remove the spam content. But I will wait to see what my experience is without paying the $8. If I choose not to be actively involved in these discussions, maybe it's not necessary for me to pay the $8, because I will sit on the sidelines watching the discussions and the debates happen with real people, and maybe that's enough to form a better opinion. It is unclear if Elon Musk will be successful with Twitter in that regard. However, it's not the full picture. Elon Musk's real plan is to be uncancelable. You heard me. To be if that's really a word. So if you were to design a world where you are uncancelable, what would you need? One, you'd need a social media platform. You'd need your own bank or payment processing. And you would need to be an internet service provider. Elon Musk is playing the long game, and he understands with this game, he needs a platform in which he could constructively have discourse about complex issues with the whole community and common truth emerging out of the battles between both sides. In this scenario, you won't be able to hide behind marketing dollars. The new Twitter sphere should solve this. And I can't wait to see the results. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification. Until the next video, peace and love.